The most devastating weapon ever created by humanity, the atomic bomb, the destroyer of worlds, is the only human weapon capable of guaranteeing our own mass extinction. Since its use in Nagasaki and Hiroshima, nuclear power is now used as a symbol of the military power that a nation possesses. Today, there are more than 16,000 nuclear weapons ready to be launched and end all life on Earth. But today, we will see the 10 nuclear powers on the planet and how their nuclear power affects the nation's influence over other nations. Number 10. Iran. Iran is the second regional power right behind Saudi Arabia. Although it does not officially have atomic weapons, there have been rising suspicions over the last 10 years that they have the capability of creating these weapons. After harsh sanctions imposed by the UN Security Council that financially drowned Iran, they agreed to sign a nuclear agreement with the 6 world powers in exchange for the removal of the sanctions and for the UN to acquire more access to its nuclear facilities. But even without nuclear weapons, Iran has a real nuclear potential thanks to their nuclear power plants and reactors, which, if desired, could produce an atomic weapon in less than 12 weeks. Number 9. North Korea. It has been a decade since North Korea tested its first atomic weapon since the start of their atomic program in 2004. Being a poor country that it is, it strains its resources in order to manufacture their arms and nuclear arms. No one is certain of how many nuclear weapons North Korea truly has. It is estimated to be at a minimum of 10 and a maximum of 50. Poor North Korean technology does not allow nuclear warheads to reach the United States or Europe, but they are more than capable of reaching South Korea or Japan. A North Korean attack on Seoul, the South Korean capital, or Tokyo, the Japanese capital, is an existing possibility. The dictator of North Korea is attempting to miniaturize nuclear weapons so that they are capable of reaching the US. Number 8. Israel. Israel is the only nuclear-armed country in the Middle East, but it does not officially admit this. It is not part of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, therefore they do not undergo inspections by the IAEA and the UN. It is well known that the US knows of Israel's nuclear capability and has even provided the technology for that. Israel is the main detractor for Iran from obtaining nuclear weapons, and at the same time, it is a strong critic for the nuclear treaty with Iran, since there is still the minute possibility that Iran develops atomic weapons. According to Israel, it would only take 1 Iranian warhead to destroy all of Israel, while more than 10 Israeli nuclear weapons would not affect Iran. It is estimated that Israel is in possession of 80 nuclear weapons. Number 7. India. India began its atomic program during the 70s, due to the fact that its historical rival, Pakistan, also undertook a program of atomic rearmament. India is not a signatory of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Therefore, they do not submit to the UN or the IAEA for inspections regarding its nuclear potential. India has threatened its neighbor Pakistan several times and to completely erase them from the face of the earth. To top it all off, these two countries have already been at war 3 times in the past. There is a high risk that if this escalates any further, it could plunge the region into a nuclear nightmare. With one of the most powerful armies in the continent, the mere fact that India possesses nuclear power gives them more leverage in making international decisions. It is estimated that India has approximately 110 nuclear weapons. Number 6. Pakistan. Pakistan is a relatively poor and unstable country, yet it is one of the strongest military powers in the world. They are among the 10 most powerful armies on the planet, and to top it off, their nuclear force is also among the most significant in the world. Just like India, it is not part of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. The problem is, Pakistan has encountered security issues in the past, as on previous occasions, terrorists have tried to steal the nuclear warheads from their facilities. It is estimated that Pakistan has a total of 125 nuclear weapons. At number 5, we have the UK. The UK was one of the 5 winning powers of World War II, and so they won a seat as a permanent member of the UN Security Council and have the right to carry nuclear weapons as a member of the Non-Proliferation Treaty. The UK retains most of its nuclear strike force in nuclear silos and nuclear submarines sailing the Atlantic and the Pacific. The United Kingdom is constantly mobilizing its nuclear submarines to the Falkland Islands, which bothers Argentina as it is not pleasant to be near nuclear missiles with the ability of demolishing Buenos Aires in 1 minute. It is estimated that the UK is in possession of 225 atomic weapons. Number 4. China. The People's Republic of China is on its way to becoming the next superpower in the world, since it's the 2nd largest economy on the planet and possessing the 3rd most powerful army in the world. China slowly gains more and more influence every single year. They have approximately 250 weapons, just a little more than the United Kingdom, which is quite surprising given the power that China has. But China is in no rush to expand its atomic armament. Unless it starts an arms race against the US, China uses its nuclear potential both for energy purposes and for military purposes. Number 3. France. In addition to having the most powerful army in all of Europe, France is the third largest nuclear power in the world with more than 300 nuclear weapons. France is the country with the most nuclear reactors, just behind the US. In fact, 75% of France's energy production depends on this source of energy. France has uninstalled the nuclear silos that it had in its territory to avoid being attacked in the event of a nuclear war. However, it has all its nuclear capacity in modern nuclear submarines posted in the Mediterranean, Atlantic, and Pacific. France's nuclear missiles are capable of reaching any point or country in the world. It is one of the most modern and safest nuclear systems on the planet. At number 2, we have the United States. This Western superpower has an astonishing 7,700 nuclear weapons. This amazing amount of nuclear arms is due to the fact that during the Cold War, the superpowers at the time, the US and the Soviet Union, threatened each other with assured mutual destruction. At one point, the US and the Soviet Union managed to reach more than 100,000 atomic weapons between the two powers, some 8 times more arms since they have now. Since then, the US has lowered its atomic armament considerably, but it does not neglect it, although some of their silos has not been completely updated or modernized. The US has nuclear missile deposits in some countries such as Italy, Germany, as well as Turkey. At number 1, we have Russia. The undisputed nuclear power of the planet is Russia, with more than 8,000 nuclear weapons that are capable of destroying Europe and the world. Russia invests a large sum of money so that it can be capable of hitting Europe and the US. From its enclave in Kaliningrad, in the heart of the European Union, Russia has several massive warheads capable of destroying cities such as Paris or London in less than 35 minutes. Europe has missile defense systems in place in order to limit Russia's ability to hit the continent. The atomic bomb is clearly the most lethal weapon ever created by mankind. There exists a possibility of nuclear war sometime in the future if tensions were to grow between the US, Russia, and China. It is important that we avoid this war because, as Albert Einstein once said, "I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones." So I hope you liked this video, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content every single week. See you next time.